help you do that, because helping families helps your family. And all the while, as Joe said, we are the fastest growing agency. We're the biggest numbers on the boards. I think you've seen we've been the biggest agency ownership in the country, about 4 or 5 times in the last 2 months. That's enormous, guys. There's 5,000-6,000 agents here. There's close to 300 agency owners, and you're talking we are the number one many times over the last couple of months. So we are only as strong as our weakest link, and there's no reason to be a weak link if you're serious about growing a business here. All you got to do is ask what's next and reach up. So encourage you to do that.
And that's exactly why we do this, guys. Like he said, we're as strong as our weakest link, and we want to strengthen all of y'all, right? The cool part is we're growing with y'all, right? Mark, Jeff, a year ago, guys, didn't even look anything like this as our organization, right? Anyone that's been with us. And we're growing so fast right now, we're having to put in a lot more work on ourselves, right? Like, to have a massive growing agency, it's a blessing, but I have to be prepared, right? Mark has to be prepared. Jeff has to be prepared. Brian does too, to make sure we're the persons y'all need us to be to help grow our organization, right? And it made me reflect on why we're growing so fast. Looking at the things, I'm a numbers guy and a data guy, so it gets me going to know what Symmetry is doing on the back end. But I want to know why we're growing so fast. What are we doing to continue that, to work on that thing that's making us grow so fast, right? And after talking, I spent the weekend with Jeff. Me and Brian talk all the time. We spend it with Mark as well this weekend, and really just looking over the past couple of weeks of what's contributing to that is really 2 things, guys, that we've done okay at, right? And that's why we've gotten to where we're at right now, but we need to grow and get better to get us to where we want to go, right? And those 2 things, guys, is we're pretty good at sharing our vision and sharing our culture, right? When you hear Brian Howard speak, when you hear Jeff Miller, a Mark Newbauer, even a Betsy Barr, right? You hear it in our voice. You feel that we have a vision and culture that we want y'all to be a part of, right? So how do we increase that, right? How do we make that bigger, better for all of y'all? And how do we get y'all engaged in the same vision and culture? Because that's the secret, right? How can we instill the vision and the culture that we all have together and all of us go forward, right? Because the vision's not just mine, Mark's, Brian's, and Jeff's, right? It's all of ours. Y'all decided to make Symmetry the decision that y'all want to do because you all have that vision, right? When we interviewed y'all, it was something that drew you to Symmetry, to our organization, and it's inside of you, right? How do we help you grow that? How do we help you get that bigger, right? Because all of us together having that same vision and culture is what's going to take us to the next level, right? As an organization, I think we're hiring around 40 to 50 people right now, right, Mark? All of us together.
Yeah.
How do we make that number 100? Right? Because realize it's not how many people Mark can hire, how many people can Joe, Brian, Jeff. It's how many people can the very bottom of our leg, how can we help that person, right? Elizabeth, how do we help you grow your business, right? Richard, you just started with us. How do we help you develop as a leader right now? Because we want y'all to go way faster than we did, right? Me and Mark been here a long time, right? 34 years, and I say a long time, but I don't want y'all to go through a year, 3 years worth of figuring out how to be an AO, right? How can we make a Brian Howe an AO in a year? How can we make a Richard Torres an AO in 10 months, right? How do we get a Maria Santiago to be an AO in 6 months, right? How do we get an Eric Rush, a Dominic Austin? How do we help y'all share our vision and our culture? And that's what we really, for us to grow together and be the fastest and continue to be the fastest growing organization, There's one thing, there's a reason why it needs to be Newbauer, Martinez, and Miller together. We have to do it all together, right? We all bring something to the table. And this is where we call all of y'all up and say, what do you bring to the table, right? How can we help you start building an organization, right? Asking those questions is the very beginning, right? How do I first start right production? How do I first start recruiting, right? It's getting on this call today and asking those questions and then implementing them together, right? Because we're going to do it together. There's nothing, any one of y'all have to understand, y'all are part of the Newbauer, Martinez, and Miller teams, right? And family. We've learned one thing over the past couple of years is that working together and building a real relationship is what's going to propel us forward, right? And having that trust, right? Because business only moves at the speed of trust, if you haven't heard that, right? And how do we help develop that trust with y'all to help us help you, right? Because it's not, I can't hire that many people, guys, right? Mark, neither can Mark. It's all of us doing together. Everyone bringing 1, 2, 10, everyone writing one family, right? I love DFL with Betsy, right? It's we're helping one family at a time get out of debt, right? How do we do that together in uniform, right? The faster we all start working together, the faster all of us are going to start growing, right? And it's building this relationship in these windows, right? I know they're just faces on Zoom right now, but you know, the first step would be all of us meeting in conference and actually bonding and building relationships to know, hey, I can reach out to Richard, I can reach out to Elizabeth. You know, if Eric needs something, what do you need? How can I get that to you right now? Right? Because that's the culture we already have, but how do we make it bigger, right? How do we make it grow faster? And really that's where us as leaders and y'all are as future leaders, right? We work together to get that growth going today, right? Because we talk a lot about all this stuff all the time, but what can we really do to help you implement it today, right?
Right. This is your business. I mean, right? I mean, we hire. It's a very fine line we walk as leaders, guys, because when Symmetry is for everybody and anybody that's motivated and looking for a change, right? As I believe I heard Dave Lappin say once, the first time anyway, you know, we're not looking to change people. We're looking for people who want to change. So you got to be truly ready to make that change. And Joe and I aren't you know, harping on a point because we want to lecture or because we want to tell you what you need to do for you. But this is a very special opportunity and time is of the essence. I mean, it's now. As of last August, I see this as a brand new company. That's when they announced the shift from order to take you with us, you got to be doing what we're doing, and we're here for you. And I'm so thankful to Joe and Jeff for letting us kind of merge in here and do this as the Newbauer Agency meeting. Could care less about the name recognition. This is just about a group effort. We have, sometimes I just have to say it out loud. I took Joe, Jeff, and Brian's success for granted in a way that I felt, well, they obviously know what they're doing, right? Cranking out $170,000 months. But that's not what this is about. This is about family. This is about connectivity. This is about community. And this is about the strength in numbers that we all have together, and really leaning in on each other to take this rocket ship to the moon and beyond. So that's what I have to say with love, guys. But as my grandpa used to say, shit or get off the pot if you're brand new.
Guys, what this really is, I want y'all, we want to share the vision and the culture, right? The more communication we have, and concise communication, the better for y'all, right? At the end of the day, this is our vision, right? Is we all want to own our own business, right? We want that financial freedom. What are we willing to fight for to have that, right? Like, does your vision, does your dream have a price, right? Is that price, I can't dial 200 dials. I can't get through the objections they're giving me in the home, right? Is it, I can't, afford to recruit, so I won't recruit at all? Is it, I won't speak to my family members, right? Because I'm embarrassed of what I do here, right? I'm a secret agent. You hear us say this, right? That's the battle in arms that we have together, right? And that's the vision that we want to try to instill in all of y'all, right? And all of us have it together, and realize all of y'all have the input, right? Because the only way, here's some cool numbers, right? So last month as an or so far registered to conference, right? There's 22 in the Newbauer, right? So, and we have 32. So we have 54 people going to conference, right? In as a total organization. If we want to be the biggest organization there, right? If that's a vision of all of us together, what are we doing today to get more people there, right? Here's the vision in details to help all of y'all, right? Because it's not just a number, guys. It's not just saying, right? Here's cold, hard numbers that have changed my life, even underneath Mark, right? To realize it's even better the higher you go, right? Every 10 people you get to conference creates $50,000 in passive income within 6 to 12 months. What does that mean dollar-wise? That's $4,000 to $5,000 deposited into your bank account, guys. Every 10 people you hire, right? You bring to the Symmetry. Days. Can you reach 10 people and get them to come check us out? Because that's all it is, right? Because trust me, all 10 ain't going to stick around. That's not what we're trying to accomplish. Is can you get 10 people to come check us out and meet us, right? Because that's what it really is that they meet us. Can you get 10 people to conference to meet us, right? So as an organization, can we have 100, right? And this is just the way I always have thought, right? If we're already at 55, we can definitely double that number, because now it's easier, right? In the past 3 months, I like to share all my battles with all of y'all to help y'all understand how much easier it can get together, right? Over the past 3 months, Mark, Brian, Jeff, right, and Dustin, and everyone that's gotten people to register to conference, right? Every time we talk about conference, trust me, everyone says, well, yeah, I'll register later, right? Because I got 3-4 months down the road to do that, right? We are now at the best opportunity to get people hired and to conference in this next 4 weeks, because it's 4 weeks away, right? So when we're talking to someone that wants to check us out, hey, you need to register today because it's in 4 weeks. So you need to figure out plane tickets, right? You need to figure out your hotel. Like, there's no more waiting, right? So the next people that you talk to, it's the easiest to get them there. You just can't be afraid to ask them, hey, Y'all want to meet Mark? Y'all want to meet Brian? Y'all want to meet these people that are having the success that you want, that we talk about in Symmetry? There's only one way to get it, and that's going there. Because it's not going to be over a Zoom call, right? It's going to be actually meeting the people and going through the training, right? That's why we have these conferences. And that's my that's my challenge to all of us in the organization. How many more people in the next 30 days can we talk to, right? That's on the recruiting end. We want to go in at being one of the biggest organizations in Symmetry, right? So how many families can we help, right? I loved in the last conference from Symmetry that they called it where's my paper? A Power Week. Back in the day, remember, Mark, it used to be the 90-day Madman cycle, right? Yeah. Now they call it a Power Week, right? We need a Power Month, right? When we get to conference, when you get to conference, Eric, don't you want to show up to conference with Pete? You did last time too, and it was awesome, right? Don't you want to show up with, hey, we've written 20,000 in our organization, right? Elizabeth, hey, you know what? I've struggled and I've helped families and I've got 2 or 3 people here. Like, we're all in the battle together, right? My sister, right? It took me, a couple times to get my license, and I fought for it because my vision has no price, right? My challenge to my sister today in the morning is, how many people can you get to conference, right? Because that's what's going to change her life. $50,000 in passive income, guys, on top of whatever you write, every 10 people. Does it work? We had 17 in our organization last time in March. It's created over 12,000 in passive income for me. That's better than the numbers. It's faster because it happened in 4 months after conference.
Yeah, I think we had 13 outside of you, and we were doing maybe 50, 60 a month before conference, and in June we did over 200,000 in premium among the team.
Crazy.
It is.
Right? That's the vision and the culture that we want to help y'all grow, right? And tell me who I got to call, right? Whether you're Brian Howes, Jeffrey Millers, Mark Newbauer, Dustin, who do I need to talk to help them understand why they need to get to conference?
Joe, why don't you do a video that everybody can share with somebody?
This is being recorded.
No,
right?
What I'm saying is a invitation to conference video that individuals could use.
Whatever it takes, right? Like,
just an idea.
Who do we need to talk to, right? Who do you need to talk to? That in a conversation you can pass over to us. Because that's the magic, right? Like, these next 30 days, guys, we got to work the hardest we have ever worked. Like, in my office, ask my brother and sister. It's not a joke anymore, right? It's not even a dream we've had. This vision is so close we can touch it.
Yeah, truly. And Eric, I love your idea. However, the catch is every videos cause people to be a little passive. It's going to strike them, kind of like when people fill out the lead form, right? It strikes them right then, but then they got to talk to somebody live for that emotion to be resurrected. And conference, as I hope everybody was on the cook call this morning, if not, just nutshell, there was no way I was going all the way to North Carolina from Indiana within 30 days of my starting this job I had never heard of. I didn't even know if I trusted everybody here. Are they really this nice? Are they being kind of fake? I didn't know anything. What I did know is I was putting bananas back at the grocery counter when I was a little bit over on what I had in my pocket. So that was a little humiliating as a 40-year-old. I can tell you that. And I got to the point where enough was enough, and somebody had a call. Donna, you have a call. And enough was enough, and I finally decided I don't care what it is. I'll even sell insurance, right? So I went on to ZipRecruiter. I applied, and there I was with a hot mess full of. We didn't have Quility QMS. We didn't have Quility HQ. We didn't have e-apps, let alone anything else. Steve Devine and I sat in an office together with a pile of papers we had never seen before. Couldn't believe that a Forrester's application was 40, 50 pages long or whatever it is. And we had to fill it out by hand. Didn't know any of that. But when Chris Cook said, you got to get to North Carolina, and I said, I can't afford to. And he said, that's exactly why you go to North Carolina. I heeded his advice. So did Steve. And Steve, you remember how glamorous our trip was to North Carolina? I mean, we brought 3 or 4 friends that, we had no idea what we were getting into or what they were getting into, guys. It's an adventure. Yet you left wherever you were for an adventure, whether you want to admit it or not, right? This is a different kind of life. This is a different kind of opportunity, but it's the opportunity to take ownership in your life. And in order to take ownership, you got to remember the saying, fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. It's time to be bold. Steve and I jumped in a broken down van. No kidding. It wasn't windowless. We had a van. We drove it 10, 11, 12 hours to North Carolina. We shambarred for who got to sleep in the beds and who slept on the floor. 5 grown men in a motel room. That's an M, not an H. Motel. And made it over to conference, and it changed our lives. Here we are 5 years later. And as Joe mentioned, the growth that has incurred as a result of that borrowed faith, as Chris Cook calls it, has led to amazing friendships, amazing connections, associations. But I'll say even more than that for some starting out, because some of that might be, down the line for you. The opportunity to get in front of people that have been where you are right now, and probably some even worse. And maybe you think no one's situation is worse than mine. Great. As Nate Offert said once, I believe, your struggle is your gift to future agents. Okay? Please write that down. Your struggle is your gift to future agents. If you're here just to produce for the rest of your life, you don't want to build, you don't want to grow. Okay. I don't know anybody who says, I don't wish I invested in Yahoo when Mark Cuban formed Yahoo. I don't know anybody that says, I'm glad I bought enough Amazon back in the 90s, right? Nobody, right? This is a ground floor opportunity. You've got a chance to be a part of it, to earn ownership in it, for just doing your job. There's no extra stuff. It's just for doing your job, right? It's going to take some borrowed faith, and it's going to take some hard work. You got this far, go the rest of the way and get to conference, because that is the key. And I've said it boldly to whoever I talk to. If you're not going to conference, you might really, I don't want to see anybody leave, but this probably isn't the right time for you. But don't think it's not the right time for you before you talk to somebody. Because I'm not joking about how broke we were when we made it to North Carolina. You can get to Orlando. If you're 10 hours away, you ask me, I'll spot you the gas money. And if you tell me it wasn't worth it, don't pay me back, right?
As being leaders, right? I know because there's so many people above us, right? And us as humans, we're always looking at what's in it for me, right? Or what are you doing for me, right? As a leader and just developing on what I'm doing for our organization, right? I like to share what we're doing for y'all, right? Because the faster we help you get what you want, the faster we get what we want, right? Our office is committed to 6 days a week, right? Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Because these next 30 days are the most important this year we'll ever have, right? We talk about ears and symmetry, and if you don't know what that is, you need to know, right? But just realize what we're doing for y'all is putting in sweat equity. You tell me who we need to speak to, right? We can't afford to get to conference. How can we help you write business, right? Everyone should have our phone numbers. Everyone's on band. Anyone can reach out to any one of us, right? I love what Brian Howe says all the time. It takes 2 apps, guys, to get to conference, paid for and signed, sealed, delivered, and even have drinking money, right? It takes 2 applications, guys. What can we do? What do you need from us to help you write those 2 applications? And it's not right now to answer that question, right? But it's later today when you're dialing, right? Do you need to hop on a Zoom session with us? Do you need us help? Do you need our help underwriting? Do you need us to, whatever it may be, right? Like that's our commitment to y'all, right? Because I know that's always important to know, right? We're not sitting on the sidelines, guys, just saying, oh, watch our organization grow, right? Ask Brian, Mark, Jeff, right? It's not. We're here every day. Who can we talk to, right? Like tell us what we need to do to help you get what you want, because that's how we all help each other. And I'm so happy and blessed to be part of this organization where I'm super excited. You know, me, Mark, and Jeff just had a really good conversation the other day, and it's just super exciting to have and be a part of this, right? What do we need to do to help it get bigger? Just know we're here for y'all, right? And that's where the culture, right? Understand the culture that we want to build in the Newbauer organization is we have the culture to help, and we want to be the fastest, the biggest, and right, we want the top producers, we want the top key leaders, we want the best of everything, and we're willing to help. That's why we already have most of that, right? Because we're not scared, right? I love, you know, Mark, you left, and Jeff just opens up and he goes, what I love about Mark is he's willing to help any way he can, right? And that's the key to success, right? But we're doing it together, and we're doing it with y'all, because that's the way we're going to go way farther, right? So don't be shy, reach out, tell us what you need, right? And we're here for you. Trust me, we'll figure it out, right? Like if you want to go to conference and you need to figure it out, you just need to reach out, because that's going to get you there. We'll help you get your license faster. We'll help you write business faster. Like that's just the process, guys. It's first opening up and saying, hey, I want, right? You have not because you ask not. I'll tell you that right now.
Love that.
It is that simple, guys. So
just remember, conference is all about you guys, right? It's about your future. The reason why we're so passionate about this is because we know what it changed for us back in March when we went. I mean, you know, Brian was there, and Joe and Mark. It changed the projection of our future drastically, and we just want that same thing for you guys. We know what it can do for you.
Love it.
Absolutely, well said.
Well, we're already at the 40 mark, guys. Anything we can help y'all. Anyone has a question on anything that, right? If you have the question, trust me, somebody else on this call does. Is there anything we can help y'all with? Right? We've talked about Facebook. Y'all talked about recruiting, building, production. Is there any questions y'all have that you need any information on? Don't be shy.
So Eric asked a question. It's a good question in the chat room. How does someone reach out? I don't have phone numbers or contact info for anyone besides Mark and Dustin. So
everybody can be hooked up on Band.
Yep, great question. You can connect with anybody on Band with a direct message. We all trust each other as leaders, so I think it's all good in the hood. But best practice, just so you guys know as leaders, is to counsel with your upline. Hey Jeff, I'd love to talk to Mark about something. Can I get his number? Jeff's going to give it to you. Hey Mark, I want to talk to Joe. I never see you dial Mark because you've been out of the field for a year and a half. I want to see what this beast is doing in the field. Can I talk to Joe? Absolutely. I'm going to tell Joe, hey, Eric wants to talk to you for a spell. Would you spend some time with him? Of course he's going to. We're all here to help each other, all here to help you guys with our different levels of expertise. And it's all about first just letting your upline know, because that's what fosters good communication, right? None of us I'm never going to be offended that you want to talk to somebody other than me. I get sick of my own voice sometimes. So guys, rest assured, anybody you want to reach out to, just let your upline know. They're going to provide the phone number and set it up for you. No problem.
Yep. And you asking the question, your upline's probably going to give you the answer right there and then. Right? It's just usually we're just too shy to ask. Trust me, ask away, guys. So let's have a great week, right? We want a power month for everybody, right? So we can head to conference strong. right? Business planning, realize we're out almost a full week that week, right? A couple days. So you want to have all your production in before that. So we have a month, right? I love to prepare numbers, right? So right now is when we have to put in more work because we're going to be out those dates, right? So just realize whatever we can do to help you. I love what Casey and then we're talking about on the national call, right? Make these the biggest weeks y'all have ever had, right? Invest in more leads that you've ever gotten. Make more dials than you ever have. Reach more people that you've ever thought of contacting. You'll be surprised of how much you can do with a little bit more effort, guys. But make these the strongest month we've ever had as an organization. Like, it will be so cool walking in there for yourself, for us as a group, to walk in there with, and so many of us have broken a record, right? Because in production, we wrote the most business because we've talked to the most people and hired just make this a power week, right? Make it a power week the week after that, and 2 more times, guys. We got 4 weeks. Let's go out there again, right? The keys. These are the keys, guys. Invest in the most leads you've ever had. Make the most dials you've ever had, and talk to more people in interviews that you've ever done before. Challenge yourself to that, right? We have an opportunity. The next conference ain't to next year. This is when we have to do it to have the results going into next year.
Yes,
Right
I got
now.
a great question. Great question from Brendan Richards. I'm not currently an agent and I'm working on getting my license. I'm feeling overwhelmed sometimes with all the information. Easy to do here. What is the best advice? I'd love Jeff and Joe weigh in. And best advice for me is, guys, tune in to the Cook Call Monday morning, new agent training Tuesday morning, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, and Wednesday national calls starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. The builders back to back with the national. Brendan, I swear, if you just tune into those 3 calls each week and work on your licensing all the while, you're going to be fine. Again, counsel with your upline outside of that. But that's what I recommend. And as a bonus, Symmetry, I mean, you can do it on the website too. I still love SoundCloud. There's an app called SoundCloud. Go to your app store, download it, look up Symmetry Financial Group. Every call we've had from last week to probably 2015 is on there. And it is solid gold. Call after call. Pick a title that resonates with you. Maybe you see a name that resonates with you, Brendan. Tune into that and listen. When I was studying for my license, I still went to the gym. I still drove in my car to go to the store, things like that. I would be listening to SoundClouds nonstop. And that gave me so much confidence in the culture and the opportunity and the work that has to be done. The very hard work that you will be faced with, especially in the beginning, those first 120 days, you're going to be armed like there's no tomorrow to really tackle that with zest. So really take advantage of that SoundCloud channel and listen to those old things when you're in the car, in the shower, in the steam room, wherever you are. Listen, and educate yourself, because you're not going to be working on your course, when you're driving in the car. So turn your car into a rolling university, as we say, whether it's the book of the month, something that's going to help you grow. In this case, it's SoundCloud. And you're going to get a real feel for what needs to be done here. I really think that's a key metric for people starting out. If you tune into that early, you're going to do very well.
And we'll let y'all go, guys. But any new agent that's not licensed, I love to be super honest, right? Y'all need 5 to 6 hours a day, and you need to finish your license.
Just get that license.
Get your course taken care of. If it's taking you longer than that, guys, it's because you just need to work a little bit harder, right? Dedicate 5 to 6 hours a day. Finish your license next week, because it doesn't matter where you're at in the course. If you dedicate 5 to 6, all the courses are only 30 to 50 hours, right? If you're in California, right? But it's 5 to 6 hours a day, and you're done next week. Schedule your test, right? Don't wait, right? That's the only reason why it's being dragged out, right? We all have whatever we have to overcome. Just get that done, guys, and we'll see you on the other end.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a great day. Something. Bye, guys.